Following is a paid program. The views and opinions expressed are those of the sponsor and do not necessarily reflect the views of Radio 1, WTLC AM 1310 The Light, and its management.
Welcome to the Home and Finance Show on AM 1310 The Light. Now it's time to get straight talk about financing a home and insider information about buying a home from the experts. And here they are, your hosts, Janis Bradley and Diana Rice-Wilkerson.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Home and Finance Show. We are your host. I'm Diana Rice-Wilkerson, loan originator with Fairway Mortgage, and joining me is my co-host.
Good afternoon, Janis Bradley with JB Real Estate Consultants.
Home and Finance is designed to bring you current and relevant information about all aspects of the home buying process. Whether you are considering becoming a homeowner, if you're currently a homeowner or actually in the process of buying, building, selling, Home and Finance is for you. We believe when you know better, you do better, and quite frankly, many of us just don't know better. So not only are we bringing you very important information, we are also delivering it in a manner that you can understand, which is why we call it straight talk and insider information. And those of you who have been listening for many years, you know that we just tell it like it is. That said, we want to hear from you. So if you have questions about our topic today or questions about the home buying process in general, please call into the station at 317-239-1310, 317-239-1310. We also invite you to visit our website at www.homeand.financeshow.com. Also visit our Facebook page and follow us on Twitter. Now on with the show. As I was thinking about now on with the show today, I was thinking, it came to mind, now on with the show. Remember Ed Sullivan?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
Okay, I do. All righty.
Now on with the show.
He did say that, but...
Today's topic is about building new from the ground up. We're at the beginning of 2017. Mm-hmm. It's a new day, and we are going to be talking about building a new.
Right.
From the ground up.
Yes.
Have you ever wondered how to go about building a brand new home? You may have asked yourself questions such as, could I actually do that? How long would it take? How much would it cost? Do I need an architect? How much money do I need to get started? Well, today we're going to answer all of those questions and more. As you know, when we have guests, we bring you only the best of the best. So joining us are three of Indy's premier builders to talk about this process and answer two of Indy's premier builders to talk about this process and answer any questions that you might have. But before we get started, let's get an update from Janis Bradley, our real estate guru. Hey, Janis Bradley.
Hi, how are you? And how's everyone this afternoon? Well, the phones are ringing. We love to hear it. And I tell you, from beginning of January, the houses were up on the market. You see for sale, now you see pending. What I'm sharing with some of my buyers is take some sick days. If I say we've got to see this house, get sick, so we can go ahead and see this particular home, because
she is not a well woman.
Well, it is what it is. I mean, and, the buyers know that they're losing out. Especially on different particular price range.
Yes.
100, 150, under 200.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, we shared with them last week. Was it 125 or 150? Try to get that $1,000 payment.
150.
150.
If you're paying $1,000 rent, $1,000 in rent, you could be owning a $150,000 house.
Oh, we sound like when who does that together? Oh gosh, Anyway, so the market's hot. Like I said, I've always said in the beginning of January it's hot, but if this is only March,
right?
This is only March, and everybody is just smiling. It's like when I go to Steinmart. My sister and I always go to Steinmart when she comes in town, and because we love Steinmart, and we're getting ready to go in, and all of a sudden, all these women with all these bags are just smiling, and we say, "This is our lucky day," So, and you know what? Before we start even talking about new constructions, which we'll do real quick, I have to share this story with you. We always encourage our buyers to, hold on to their tax money.
Yes.
This type of thing, because we know this is a good year. And I know you guys really, the builders, when you get to talk about it, you get to say, oh, gosh, thank you, Lord, tax money. I was getting my nails done yesterday. And my nail technician just looked so harried. I said, "What's the matter?" I said, "Oh, you seem really tired." She says, "People get their tax money back, and the whole family comes getting manicure, pedicures." I busted out laughing. So that's what they're doing. They're pampering themselves. So we want you to pamper yourself in new construction or buying a home, right, Diana?
Exactly.
Okay, I'm
done. Okay. Well, a couple of announcements. Number one, next Saturday, the 11th, it's going to be all about your credit, guys. We're going to be talking straight talk about mortgage credit. So if you're in the market to buy a home, if that's your dream this year, next year, some year in the future, it makes no difference. We're going to be telling you like it is. And one of the things we just want you to know is, what you really need to focus in on and what you don't. You will be amazed at some things that really are not necessary to do, even if you may have a negative item on your credit. And maybe there's some other things that you do need to do. So we're going to be talking straight talk. We are going to have our guests next Saturday will be Miguel Silva with Incredible Advisors. He is a passionate young man about credit. This is his business. I've spoken with him. I connect with him, and I do a lot myself with credit as it relates to getting folks ready. So it's going to be a dynamite show. So anyone that you might know that's in that mindset of maybe becoming a homeowner at some point. Most of you, when you call me, you're apologizing to me. You don't even know me. Diana, please don't hate me when you pull my credit. And many times it's not nearly as bad as what you thought. So, but again, we're going to be talking straight talk about credit, so definitely tune in. And then on the 16th, I just want to remind you that I will be participating in a homebuyer seminar that's going to run from 6:30, I think, to 8:30. It's going to be on March 16th at the McAllisters in Castleton, which is at 6020 East 82nd Street. So again, that's 6:30 to 8:30. It's going to be myself, Tanya Looney from FC Tucker, Mike Parizo, who's a licensed home inspector, and Ravi Murray, who is a State Farm agent. So this is the market, and you got to go in with information and education and knowing how to navigate. So we're going to be talking to you about that, and it's free. We want you to come out, but you do need to register so you can have a seat. There's only a limited amount of seating. So call me if you would like to attend this conference, and it's a couple of hours, and we'll make sure that you get seated. My number is 317-402-5555. My job is to show you the money. Janis Bradley told me that was my job, so that's what I do. 317-402-5555.
All righty. Now we're really going to go on with the show, right?
With the show.
All righty. We have two fantastic builders with us today, and we just know we want to get the word out, just to exactly what's going on, not to be intimidated by new construction. I think Diana made a comment in the beginning, that people will say, is that for me? Is that something I can do? I'm going to give you a personal story. When first we married, and we were looking, actually both of us have been married before, so it ended up being a blended family. So it was time for, I said, it's time for us to, really look for a house. I mean, nobody in my family had ever built or anything like that. So I started looking, and then, you're talking to people, and people are talking about new construction. And I'm saying to myself, well, it's a house. The house is a house, whether, it's existing or what. Yeah. So anyway, I brought it up to my husband, and I said, why don't we think about new construction? Well, he looked at me like I was crazy, and I said, it's just another option. I'm telling you, because, again, no one in his family had ever, I'm trying to even think if they even owned a home, because we were the older, so we hadn't done it either. Well, let me tell you what happened. When we found a builder, then they helped us find a lot. All I can say is that my husband changed into the most different person I've ever seen.
That's awesome.
He was on it he knows that house, and I'm the excited one. I always just get really excited and all of that, but I had to take a chill pill because he was, and then he wanted to know, why did I pick this time of my life to be quiet, or what have you? I mean, he couldn't believe it because he wanted me to feel what he was going through, I'm telling you, but that is another thing we're going to talk about with new construction, is that you need to really kind of engage yourself.
Yes.
Okay, so I tell you what we'll do. We're just going to let our builder representation and present themselves and tell a little bit about who they're with and how many years of the builder. And so we've got Sandy Rusk and we've got David Shabazz. Who wants to go first?
Oh, I'll go. Thank you.
Okay.
David Shabazz with Davis Homes. Been in this business for quite some time now, and And one of the great things about Davis Homes is that we have so many communities that start for that first-time home buyer. So if you're under $150,000, you want to keep that payment under $1,000. We're that builder. Typically, in new construction, as prices continue to rise, we all talk about that, right? How this market is steadily moving and prices are going up, and we're holding our prices underneath that 150 because we know that there's a segment of customers out there that are looking for a new home and people that want to be able to afford a new home, but not go into that $1,600, $1,700, $1,800 payment because they can't afford that. They want to be at $850, $950, $1,000 a month. So that's what makes us unique. Yes. And we're going to continue to serve the community with with utmost respect and dignity and provide opportunities for people, particularly first-time home buyers, to purchase a home.
Excellent.
And in today's market, as you said, what you were paying before, with the rates, this is such a perfect marriage. And that's what we just really want everybody to understand. You may not need a two income in the household.
Exactly.
In today's rates, you can do it with one. So, I thought you were going to say my turn. Sandy, tell us about Pyatt.
Absolutely. Well, my name is Sandy Rusk, and I am with Pyatt Builders, and have been in the industry all the way back since, I hate to admit this, but 1990. So I've been around the block and just seen the whole industry through its ups and downs and changes, and have been out there as a real estate broker, which I am currently, and have recently joined forces with Pyatt Builders and the newly founded Finecraft series of homes. And we have some overlap with Davis Homes. We have some subdivisions that, start in that, under 150 price range and then go all the way up to some of the locations in Carmel. The new Finecraft community called the Legacy of Carmel will actually start in the high 200s. So we actually kind of encompass, kind of both ends of the market. And I've just, as we were talking earlier, we've seen the market here just do some drastic things recently that have been amazing to see. And it's very active out there, and it's just really awesome to experience that.
It is wonderful to have you guys. And again, listeners, do call us with your questions, 317-239-1310. What I like about both of you is you've got something pretty much for everybody and every price range. There's no one-stop shop. Not one size fits all.
Exactly.
Because I've worked for everybody. When I was with INHP, I was their director of mortgage programs for a minute. And when I was with them many years ago, the problem we were having in the community was that there were all of these first-time home buyers. But the homes that they would typically be wanting to buy, those owners didn't have anywhere to go. There was no housing. Shortly after that was when the new construction boom hit Indianapolis, and there was new construction everywhere, which opened up the market opened up the opportunity for a lot of first-time home buyers then to move into those homes. And I'm saying that really to our listening audience to understand how this cycle goes, because you're going to hear these guys talk today about what the market looks like in terms of land here in Indianapolis, to build. Because I remember many years ago, it was new construction everywhere, pretty local. But now we're kind of moving out into some of suburbia as well. It looks like we have Whitney on the line. Thank you for calling the Home and Finance Show, Whitney. Please go ahead with your question or comment.
Yes. Right now I'm receiving SSI, and I'm living in a shelter, but I'm wanting to one day get one of these homes that you're talking about. And roughly SSI told me that I'll switch over to SSD and be getting like $1,073 plus $300 maybe for my children. And then I met a girl who said she bought a home in a bettering the community home, and the home was $55,000. So with that income, how could I get a home and maintain it and not lose it?
Well, that's a very good question, and you're very smart to ask those questions about getting a home, maintaining it, and not losing it. And that's something that I can help you with, Whitney. I'm going to give you my phone number. I'm the lender, so we would be working through all of those numbers and the monthly payment associated with the home that you might be thinking about buying one day, so that you will know what that is and have some comfort around making that payment. Are you ready for my number?
Okay. Yes, I'm ready.
317.
Okay.
402.
402.
5555.
5555.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you. And you're Linda.
I'm Diana, but you can call me
Diana.
Linda.
Yeah,
Don't
she'll
worry,
answer.
I answer to
She'll answer
everything.
anything.
Yeah, if you call
Exactly.
that number, you'll have me. Call me anybody. Okay?
Okay, Diana,
All
thank
right.
you, and I really appreciate it. I'll be giving you a call.
All right. God bless you. Have a great day.
You as well. Bye-bye.
Okay, let's do this. So, Davis Homes, share with us the communities you are now in and the price ranges.
Okay, so currently, right now, we're as far as our first-time home buyers concerned, because we do have those $300,000 and $400,000 and $500,000
Sure you do.
communities. But I typically want to focus on those communities that start in the 120s,
Okay.
and 130s, 140s.
Great.
And those are in Lawrence Township, Warren Township, and Franklin Township.
Okay.
We also have a community in Columbus, Indiana, as well as Kokomo. But we find that the majority of our customers, or those most popular communities, are in Lawrence, Warren, and Franklin Township because the schools, people grow up there, they want to stay in the township.
Warren Central is something else, isn't it? When people want to stay in.
We get people that come in the model and they want to stay in Warren just because of their kids play football
right.
there.
That's what I'm saying.
So-
And basketball.
In Lawrence Township, we got people that want to stay in Lawrence because their kid plays basketball. So we get a lot of that. You'd be surprised.
Hey, thank you for calling the Home and Finance Show, Max. Please go ahead with your question or comment.
This may not be on the subject that you guys are talking about, but I had a question in regards to quick deed.
Mm-hmm.
There are 4 people who are on the current deed. They're my relatives, but they are elderly and they no longer can take care of the home.
Okay.
So I was calling to see, should I just get an attorney for the quick deed to make sure there's no liens or anything against the house?
Yes.
So-
Yes. Because that's a simple process, but you might be inheriting some worms and germs that you don't want. So you want to make sure that up front that you know when that quick claim deed is processed that there's no encumbrances out there that are going to later give you a problem. So yes, an attorney would be a wise move.
Okay, and is that something after the quick deed is done that that it is recorded in the recorder's office so that I
Yes.
assume all responsibilities as far as taxes?
Yes, and the attorney. And if you need a real estate attorney, let me know. We may be able to get our number here for Tamara Brown here real quick. But she'll give you all that direction so that not only will she also owns her own title company. So you've got a twofer with this situation. Yeah. She'll totally understand. So not only will she check out and make sure the property is free of any encumbrances, she will also go ahead and prepare your deed and let you know what happens next.
Okay.
And I do have that number.
Okay, go right ahead.
I don't think I told a story here. Let's see. Absolute. Well, I don't want to take a lot of time. So
continue to listen. We'll give you the number.
Here we go. Here we go. All right. It's 317.
317?
251.
And 251?
3788.
3788. And her name again is?
Tamara Brown.
Tamara Brown.
Make sure you tell her Diana and Janis sent you.
Okay, thank you so much.
Thank you for calling.
Yes, great question.
It was a great question, and we're going to see we see a lot of that.
Yeah.
I am seeing a lot of that when people are asking me to list a home. Okay, now, when you say these locations and the prices, for instance, okay, what am I getting if I am building a $150,000 home with Davis? Now, what it does also depend on.
Well, there's a couple of things. So let's take one of our communities, such as Hanover North, right, in Warren Township. So you can typically build at $150,000. You're talking 2-story, 4 bedrooms with a loft. You're well over 2,000 square feet, probably closer to that 2,500 square foot range.
Okay.
2-car garage. And, people ask me, how big are the lots? Well, the average lot in a typical community is, about a quarter acre, give or take, right? So you're looking at roughly about 2,400 square feet, 4 bedrooms with a loft, stainless steel appliances included. And, with some of the promos, depending if you, obviously, using Diana Rice-Wilkerson, right? As your finance and with Fairway Mortgage, then you were paying $3,500 in closing costs.
Okay.
So we try to make it easy and simple. So let's say that they are working with Diana, right? And they have to come up with 3.5% down for down payment. Well, one of the great things about Davis Homes is we have what's called a pay-as-you-go program, pay-as-you-build. So that 3.5% can be, you can pay on that every single month.
Okay.
And every time you make a payment, we would hold that in escrow account for you, right?
Yes.
And then that money is credited towards your down payment at closing. So you don't have to, as you know, you buy something existing, right? You have to have that 3.5% today. Right. Well, when you build with us, 6-month build time frame, okay? So it takes 6 months to come up with your down payment. So we would try to make it,
assistance.
and there's down payment assistance available. So if they don't qualify, they can use the pay-as-you-build program, or they can utilize the down payment assistance with Fairway Mortgage.
Got you covered.
Yeah.
And guys, just think about it once again. If you're paying $1,000 a month rent, because this is the other thing that I find interesting about people, especially first-time home buyers. They're like, they will pay rent for 1,000 years. But then you say buy, and they get real nervous. They just get real nervous. And we feel you, we understand. But understand this, if you are paying rent each month, you can pay a mortgage payment. And certainly if you're paying $900 and $1,000 a month, you can pay.
Many people are.
And if you're buying new, building new, you're going in with pretty much no problems for, associated with the house in terms of repairs and things of that nature for a very long time.
Exactly.
Hey, thank you for calling and the Home and Finance Show. Ms. Majors, go ahead with your question or comment.
Hi, my name is Miss Majors, and I'm not paying like $900 or $1,000 at this moment, but I paid anywhere up to like $800 for like 3 or 4 years, and $985, $950 at times.
Right.
But my rent is only like $640 right now. That's because I made a wiser decision to downsize and get something that was nice but affordable. My credit is not good at all, but I've been on my job for 9 years.
Okay.
I work for the federal government, so my credit is like 450, so it's bad.
Okay.
And I know that, and I'm trying to make changes now, but I'm trying to buy a home. I'm just now chiming in, so I don't know like what kind of homes we're talking about, but there's a family home that my sister's trying to sell for $50,000. Yeah, my sister, she wants to sell it for $50,000, the home we grew up in. And I don't want to lose the family home, and I'm just trying to see if there's any company or whatever that can help me in this situation.
I want you to call me. My number is 317-402-5555. Go out on my website if you'd like to and go ahead and apply. I'm going to pull your credit. Credit is the first thing we look at. That website is loanswithdiana.com, www.loanswithdiana.com. And Mrs. Majors, your current credit profile would not meet the lending criteria, but what I would be looking at is what you need to do in order to get it to the place where it does. So that, typically even in situations where we know the credit is not where it needs to be, it's all about commitment from the client on how committed are you to working on it and getting it where it needs to be. Now, your time frame for doing that, if you have time, and that could be anything, a year, 2 years, it might be 6 months, then we can talk about that as well. But I will be happy to share with you what you need to do in order to get your credit where it needs to be.
So what was that website again?
Loans with Diana, www.loanswithdiana.com.
And your phone number?
317-402-5555.
Okay. Well, do you know of any, and one more question, do you know of anybody that can step in this situation that owns homes or that buys homes that may be willing to buy this home? It's not an old home. The home has been totally rehabbed. That's why she's asking for $50,000 for it.
We need to talk about it. We need to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, are there people that would step in to purchase the home to rent it out?
But we want to talk about that because that's high risk. That is high risk when you have somebody else doing something for you like that, because they may not be willing once you're ready to actually give it back to you. So we want to talk about it.
I'm going to lose it anyway if she sells it to somebody, a stranger. So.
Please call me.
Okay, thank you
for
very
calling.
much.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for calling the Home and Finance Show. Go ahead, Kevin, with your question or comment.
I was listening to the gentleman earlier speaking about building homes in Warren Township.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the township that he said?
Warren?
Yes, that's one of the,
Yes.
yes, that's one of his
Okay.
the locations.
Okay. And I also, did he say Davis Homes?
Yes.
Now, you guys do a good job on your show. A lot of good information. My wife and I built a Davis home. I'm telling your listeners, I would not buy a Davis home. They were horrible. Absolutely horrible.
Sir,
that's my
we
comment.
appreciate that comment, but we want to take that offline. I'm sure this gentleman here in the studio had nothing to do with that. So, and we appreciate
And
you listening to
nobody
our
and nothing
show.
is perfect, that's for
but
sure.
we need to take that one offline.
Well, I can speak to that. For example, if somebody has a question, feel free to give me a call.
Okay.
Stop by my model, 3611 Brandenburg Boulevard. And if you have a concern, and if I'm not aware of that concern, I'll definitely get it to the right people. I think whenever you're in new construction or anything in regards to real estate, you want to make sure that you get to the right people that actually will be an advocate for you, right? And to address whatever concern you may have.
Right.
Yeah, no builder's ever
appreciate
perfect.
it.
So.
No, and I even when I'm showing homes or buying a home, no home is perfect. No, there's no perfect situation, but you just work through it. Sandy, real quick, your locations that you build in.
Well, we have over 15 locations all around the city, and Pyatt Builders is a family-owned company, which I was really attracted to their philosophy within the company. And what I came on board and kind of teamed with the builder to open this new fine craft division, which is in Carmel. So that will be where I will actually be located. And one thing with my length of time in the industry, we've seen so many changes along the way. And one thing that we're really seeing happening now is that there are varieties of lifestyles that people who are extremely busy, the millennial type buyer, the move down buyer, you're finding people are more open to, a low maintenance or no maintenance lifestyle home.
Right.
And that's one thing that we're going to be featuring in this new community, which I think is amazing. I have a very busy schedule, and I know how that is. I don't have time to cut grass. And, I came and I saw the location. This community is actually, it's called The Legacy in Carmel, and it's right off of 146th Street and River Road, right in the heart of everything to do with the fantastic Hamilton County lifestyle. And as I was reviewing the floor plans this week, I was so attracted by some features that I had never seen before. And I've been around, I've seen millions of floor plans in new construction, but we actually have a paired patio home that gives you that low or no maintenance lifestyle, but then it has something very unique. It has an interior courtyard within the floor plan itself. So you can have that, no big yard to take care of, but then when you get inside the home, you've got the ability to go into a private area that feeds right off of your living area and the master bedroom, and then the small bedroom kind of all feed into that center area. So I think we're bringing something into the market that is not being seen a lot.
Yeah.
And there's an outdoor fireplace out there, so that room could have multi-uses. I could see an outdoor television out there. You could let your pet out there. You could have your coffee while you're in your bathrobe, I guess. I have lots of things that I'm thinking about.
That's kind of going to be like that person's final home. So share with us about the locations. In fact, I want you to talk about the Jefferson. Is it Jefferson Park in Pittsburgh? And let's see, and Canby, you also build new homes in those areas, correct?
We certainly do. We have 15 plus locations around the city and some of the outer line areas that you mentioned. And our price ranges start, in the mid 100s and go all the way up. And we have pretty much any type of floor plan that you would be looking for. I just happen to be tied to the Carmel location. So
Right.
I am, a little more versed with everything there. But the company does, all different types of floor plans. Our website is actually pyattbuilders.com. So if you go to the website, you can see all the locations and different floor plans that are offered in different areas.
Janis, you mentioned Canby and Pittsboro.
I did because of the price ranges. I like David. He's mentioning kind of like the first home buyers price range that they might be in. So I was mentioning that also just because.
So kind of share. I mean, I'm a listener
Most
now,
definitely.
and I'm hearing you say Canby and Pittsboro.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking, okay,
Where
so
are they? Right.
how far is that from? Indianapolis. Just kind of give us a little bit of an idea, because I think when you start showing clients, homes, sometimes you take them to these communities. Maybe
you have to maybe to see
yeah.
the models. And far away is not as far away as it used to be. I always tell people that,
Not at
because you
all.
think something is really far, and then all of a sudden you're there. So basically. And I understand that, cost, your home prices include the lots and so on and so forth. So I think people need to understand that a little bit more, correct?
Absolutely. And one thing that I like about what you just said is that, and I think you mentioned earlier too, Diana, that when people think of buying a new home, they're very unsure of what that process is, and actually in some cases a little bit intimidated by it if they've never done it before.
Yeah.
And one thing that we specialize in and are so proud of is that we take that buyer from the moment that they walk in the door and lead them through the process. Even though if you look at the overall process, there's a lot of moving parts to building a home, but you don't have to deal with all of those on that first day.
Yes.
Once you see a model home and you really figure out what those little details are on how to get started, then we can guide through the whole process, everything from, picking the floor plan to the home site selection. We have a design center, so you can go there and see everything and touch and feel all of the things that are going to go into the new home and make the color selections that you like. And then the financing portion of it, we work hand in hand with specialized lenders who take the customer through that process. So we, from the minute they walk in the door, if they've never done this, they don't know anything about it, we're able to, with our experience, to just take them step by step through everything.
Yes.
And to try to ease that, because emotions run high during this process.
Right. Especially when they walked in that model home. They would
Yes,
get us on that one.
They think one of us guys here, we're going to make them do something they don't want to do.
Yeah.
But actually, in reality, it's an education process. And we understand, these guys that are here with me with Davis Homes, they know this too. People are terrified when they walk in the door. And when we are able to take their hand and guide them through the process and just show them that you can really do this. And as you mentioned earlier, there are programs out there where they don't even need a full down payment. They don't need 20% down in a lot of cases. FHA financing is very geared for first-time home buyers. Not that it's restricted to first-time home buyers, but it certainly makes the mortgage process a little easier than they might realize. So when you put all this together and you have professionals like you have here on the show, all of us, we know how to take the home buyer through that process. So even though they may not have thought that they could do it, they end up actually buying and owning their new home.
Right.
And that's one thing that
It's a great feeling.
I absolutely love as the industry that we're in. I'm sure you guys can relate to that as well.
Well, let's take this call real quick. We have
Glenda on the line.
Glenda. Hi, Glenda. How are you this afternoon?
Fine, thank you. I was calling about a credit issue.
Okay.
I am paying a credit card off, and I was wondering why it is not showing up on my credit report.
The original account is on the report, but it's not showing that you're paying it off.
Exactly.
So it sounds like the original account went into collection status. And if it went into collection status, it will be updated once it's paid in full.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That makes sense. Okay, thank you so
And
much.
thank you for calling. We
Excellent
do appreciate
You're
it.
welcome.
So,
Bye-bye.
Iva, we're going to get you in this
Yeah, we
conversation
have a special
real
guest.
quick.
We
Yeah,
have a
we
special
do.
guest.
We
and
do.
Ivan, introduce yourself.
Good afternoon. My name is Ivan Blunt, and I am with Davis Homes as a sales associate.
So let me ask you this.
Janice, before you let's
got a
take
call?
Mrs. Davis. Hi, Mrs. Davis. Thank you for calling the Home and Finance Show. Hello?
Hello?
Hi,
Yes.
Mrs. Davis.
Yes. I was wondering, they talk a lot about, you don't need all of a payment or something like that. But what about the programs out here for people with bad credit? Where are they?
Okay, so let me just kind of comment on the programs for people with bad credit. Typically, if somebody calls a lender and they do have bad credit, what bad credit means to a lender is the credit is so bad that we cannot finance that buyer right now. So what we typically do is say, pay down this credit card, have this deleted, and do this. And then all of a sudden they don't have bad credit anymore. Yesterday, I ran a scenario on a guy who had a 521 credit score. He needs to take 3 actions. When he takes these 3 actions, his score went up to 703. So no, we don't make loans to people who have really, really low scores. But most of the time, what it takes to get that score to an acceptable place is not as difficult as what one might think. Now, if the reason the person has bad credit is because they pay late, they pay 30 days late every month. They wait until things become past due on the credit report, and that's when they pay them. Now, those people are going to have to change their payment behavior because you can't fix that other than starting to pay on time and then pay on time long enough for the credit to start to rebuild. But I would say if you're interested in buying a home and you would like to have credit counseling on what it takes to get your credit to that acceptable place, I will be happy to help you with that.
And how long does it take? Generally,
everybody's situation's so different. It all depends on what it is that's driving. So if I pull your credit report today and I see that, hey, your bad credit score is coming from the fact that really you just really don't have a lot of traditional credit. Maybe you've got some medical collections that are out there. Maybe something's become a judgment. It's going to be a combination. In that case, it's going to be payment arrangement for the judgment, possibly getting rid of some of those medical collections, getting to the point where you can open up a credit card. And so it all depends on how quickly the consumer can actually respond to those things that need to be taken care of. But oftentimes, it is sooner rather than later. Oftentimes.
So the gentleman that you helped, that his credit score was like 5-something, then it jumped to 700. How long did it take for that?
What I gave him was a plan, and it's going to take 30 days. What he's got to do is have something deleted. 4 accounts need to be deleted off of his credit report. And 30 days is probably on the long end because oftentimes today things are done through online and done pretty quickly. But I would say 30 days.
And his credit score would jump like 100 and something?
7 is going from 521 to 702, 703. All I need is 660. So I'm happy. So give me a call, Ms. Davis. Do you have my number?
Yes.
Okay, very good. Give me a call. I'll be happy to help you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for calling. So, Ivan, it's your turn. You thought I forgot about you. Share with us what you're seeing with the buyers. What are they wanting? What seems to be the hot button nowadays?
So first and foremost, I think that purchasing a home is all about changing your life.
Mm-hmm.
So the price point that we're at the beginning stages for first-time homeowners, it's about transitioning from what they're previously used to into something that they want to foresee, not only for themselves, but for their children.
Okay.
So we're at a point now in the market where there's a lot of millennials, which were mentioned earlier.
Mm-hmm.
People are making salaries at a particular time that provides them with the opportunity to stretch their horizons. So the market is shifting in a major way. People are coming out seeking homes, and they're trying to figure out what's the best fit for them.
Right.
Who can build and design the home that's going to work for them for the next 10, 15, 20 years. Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So share with us what they're wanting inside the home. What seems to be the hot button?
So, of course, amenities, right? So they want the upgrades.
Okay, amenities.
So here at Davis Homes, we offer the stainless steel appliances, garden tub, which is definitely a delight to be able to soothe yourself after a long day of hard work.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the other upgrades is just, crown molding, upgrading the furniture. I mean, not the furniture, but the carpet, padding, things of that nature. 2-car garage. They just want that full, comfortable feel of what it looks like to be in suburbia to the furthest extent. But that can happen well within the city limits because we have those options in communities.
Right. I know my little laundry list. Oops, we do have a caller already. Hi.
Yes, we do. Hi, Delia. Thank you for calling the Home and Finance Show. Go ahead with your question or comment.
Well, my first comments are, when individuals are buying homes, whether it be new or old, and I haven't heard this a lot, but I know like at the design center, they talk about the different qualities, the difference between the 2x4, 2x6, the difference in terms of subflooring, what is actually a quality product. Some people are buying new homes. This one couple bought a home that was like $430,000, and they found out it was full of crap. So you're coming back to the structural material and the quality workmanship, which leads me to ask, I've listened to you guys over the years. You do a fabulous job about financing homes, getting homes, but who's talking to the homeowner about maintaining those homes and curb appeal in terms of landscaping? I have not seen that or heard that in our community where they're talking to individuals about the importance that, you get into the home, but you need to keep up the landscaping of the home, because if not, as you already know, that devalues the property even more so if you lack curb appeal. So those are my comments and my questions.
And great ones.
Point
Very
well
good
taken.
I think on the landscaping, we do need to talk more and maybe have a panel come in and talk about maintenance. We oftentimes talk about in terms of making sure that the major mechanicals continue to work. We talk about the home warranty programs, making sure that that's affordable. We do mention savings, having a savings account for things that may come up. The appraiser that's come on several times has talked about the importance of landscaping and how landscaping adds generally dollar for dollar value to the property. $2 for every. Okay. So anyway, but we don't talk about it enough. And so point well taken, Della. We appreciate that, and we will add more. Yes.
Just to just to add to that, one of the things that we implemented last year was a community day in several of our communities, where our staff and folks from our corporate office and our salespeople, we go out and actually meet with the homeowners in several communities, and we go through and we take a Saturday morning and we bring lemonade and bags and grocery trash bags and things of that nature, and we spend a morning in our communities, and that's something that we're going to do. We're putting a schedule together for this particular summer to do the same thing in about 4 or 5 different communities.
And can I add something as well? Also at Pyatt Builders, one thing that we do is the construction superintendent actually educates the buyer as they take ownership of the home. There's a walkthrough process that they go through, and they talk about all of those things, like especially when someone's never been a homeowner. They don't realize that it's a little different from when you're renting or living in an apartment. And then I think education is the key.
Yes.
So if the homeowner knows what all of these things are, and also, the good side of it, when they're buying brand new home, then the warranty's in place. So they're not having to go in and do all these renovations and make changes. So their emphasis can be on, the fun part, like decorating their home, but also the things like their landscaping. And we also find, I'm sure you guys do too as well, is when people buy a new home, they want to go out there and plant flowers and, do all of these things that the fun part of owning a home, I always tell people, you're going to get so excited the first time you buy a grill. You're going to think, oh my gosh, I have a grill now. Or you wash your car on your own driveway, with your
riding more, something of this nature.
So back to the original comment, I definitely think education is the key, and letting people know what they need to do to maintain their home and make it look attractive. And in a lot of cases, you find that people do want to do those things because that was part of the reason that they bought the pride of ownership of owning their own home.
Well, if we could do this real quickly, Dave, the three of you, if you could just jump in and just kind of real briefly share with the listening audience a quick process as far as you do. And I'm not aware of any builder does not hold hands during that building process. So the pre-construction meeting, things of this nature, just real quickly, so they'll know they're involved step by step.
Okay. Well, I know our processes have changed several times. We've tweaked our processes over the last 2.5 years. Okay. Because we want to get better at what we do, right? So what we did back in 2015, we don't do that today. So when a person comes in, our earnest money is only $250. Okay. Once they decide on a floor plan, a community, a home site, and the options that they want in their home, along with a pre-approval letter and their $250 earnest money, then that file goes into a processing where we're working on the drawings, and and ordering permits and plot plans and things of that nature. It takes about 30 to 45 days.
They're not part of that
They're
process.
not a part of that process.
Okay.
And we explain to them, hey, it's going to get quiet for about 30 to 45 days. Doesn't mean we
Real
don't love you.
quiet.
Doesn't mean we don't love you. It just means that we have a few things that we need to do on the back end. And we get a lot of calls. Hey, David, I haven't heard anything. We're getting close. Trust me, we're getting close. And then from that process, then they get a call from our construction manager to set up their pre-construction meeting. At that time now, we're 120 days out in the field where they get to watch their home being the construction part. What I tell everybody is part of the process is kind of a two-way street, right? So not only are we doing our part, but we want them to stay involved. Okay, we want you to get out to that construction site. Take photos. You see something you don't like, I guarantee you the construction manager's already seen it, but it's good to let him know that you're watching, right? Or him or her, right? To know that you're watching and part of that process. And then as we get closer to closing, about 45 days, they'll hear from their lender right prior to closing to start the closing process. And then within those 45 days, we're doing final walkthroughs, inspections, things of that nature, and then closing on their home and when they get their keys. That's the fun part. So, and I want your listeners to know, it's an emotional roller coaster. I mean, you're going to have extreme highs, you're going to have extreme lows. That's just how it works. You're building a home. You're not buying, a pair of tennis shoes.
That's right.
Well, I tell you what, before we can't let this in because I have to ask this important question. So, do I need a realtor for new construction?
Well, we need Sandy to talk about her process, her hand-holding process first before you get that question
No,
answered.
we don't.
We
want to ask about
Sandy,
the realtor
I'll
part.
answer that question.
We want the realtor part.
Well, definitely. As we said earlier, we take you by the hand from the time you walk in the door, and we do understand that it is a scary process, and that the emotions do run high. And I think the best part is that if you just if you connect with someone when they walk in the door, me as a sales manager, I remember that the homes that I've bought, I try to always put myself in their place and how did I feel and what did I think and what were my concerns. And then there are a lot of moving parts, so we always become a team. Like I, as a sales manager for Pyatt Homes, they're in the fine craft division, my role is to create the team that is going to make this home complete and help these people get into the home. So the mortgage representative that's working on their mortgage, the title company that's going to actually do the final title work, and then everything that goes along with building the house from the time that the new homeowners select the floor plan that they want, they select the home site that they want, taking them through the process of picking out all of the options as well as all of their color selections. Our design center appointments can be hours long, and homeowner does not have to go in and make all those decisions in one meeting.
Right.
They get to go in several times because, it's a bit overwhelming. And we have people in our design center who know how all of these things look put together. Because when you look at a sample of brick and you look at a paint sample and most people are like, I don't know. I don't know if this is going to look good or not. Yeah. So we have people that help them make those decisions. And then, taking, like my role is really just to kind of create that team and coordinate that team to make the whole process come together so that the closing takes place. And then to talk the homeowners off of the ledge when when their emotions run so high that they're just, a little, it is a bit overwhelming at times. But in the end, the first time you push that garage door opener or turn the key in the lock and open the home, your brand new home, and you know that that's your home, there's nothing like that feeling. So I just always try to remember the way I felt during all of those, parts of the process. And, so to answer your question, that's what we do at Pyatt Homes and Fine Craft Builders, just to help bring them from, gosh, could I really buy a house? Ooh, there's a model home open there. I think I might just peek in and see what this is all about.
And then the fun begins. Huh?
Then, yes, 5 months later, 6 months later, they're walking into their brand new home. And as you said earlier, I think, Ivan, it just takes their life in a whole new direction. It's life altering, and it's so fun to be a part of that.
It is.
Now we're going to talk about a couple of practical steps because I know we're winding down here. Number one, Janis did ask the question, should a buyer who's building a brand new home with all these wonderful folks have a real estate agent?
Well, it can be either way. We love it when realtors bring clients to us. It's one more person to be involved in that process and help ease their fears and help bring them through the process. And then sometimes we do have people that just walk in that don't have a realtor.
Yeah.
And all of our sales managers with Pyatt Homes, we are real estate brokers. So if there are questions that they don't have the answers to, we have those answers. But we also love our realtor partners, and we always want to create relationships with realtors, and we encourage realtors, because a lot of realtors sometimes they don't really realize that new construction is an option for their client. New realtors, they're looking at in our inventory right now, things go on the market and they're gone instantly.
Mm-hmm.
So realtors are really scrambling out there to try to find a home for their buyers. So if realtors are unaware, especially new realtors, if they've never worked with new construction, bring your buyer to us. And then, the good thing is we become a team then too. And we all work together to help bring their dream of homeownership into a reality.
I think also one of the things that we share with you, listening audience, if you're out looking for a home and you do see that model home and you go in to the model home and you're asked to complete any type of informational card, you definitely do want to list your realtor's name on that card. And if you do not have a realtor, list Janis Bradley's name on that card. Because from my standpoint as a lender, it works better for me when the client has a realtor, because otherwise I tend to get questions that I know that if this person had a realtor, they would not be asking me these questions.
Yeah.
And it kind of puts me, I've been trained by my realtor partners, but I don't like answering those questions.
Sure.
And what they need to understand is that, the builder is still the seller. They do pay the commission for the buyer.
Absolutely.
It doesn't cost,
it doesn't cost them
buyer.
anything.
Right. Absolutely.
And quite frankly, you've almost really put, which people don't realize, that is built in. With most builders, the commission to a real estate agent is built in. So I also want to look at it this way. So if you're don't have a realtor, and so that means they're not paying your fee, a real estate commission fee, you don't get it back, like as a credit, something of this nature. And then number two, they built that in their money, how it's going to work, so they have that in their portfolio, what goes here, what goes there. So you're actually helping the builder make more money if you don't use that money, if they don't use the money to help pay a real estate professional. But we just want to make sure that everyone understands that you still need somebody to represent you. Both of you made a comment, about holding hands and part of the team. And again, I know that with my years of experience, I can kind of judge, okay, maybe this isn't as important as this might be, because, again, I'm going to also look at resale. There was a day that fireplaces, you better have that fireplace. And, I would almost donate my commission just so that you can,
Absolutely.
And that's not that big of a deal nowadays. So, again, you have to, we know home buying, new construction, whatever it is an emotional buying process.
And we value realtors as well. So that's one of our big things.
Two things. Yes, two things I want to say about getting ready. Number one, you guys, the same thing that goes into buying existing goes into new construction. There are no extra hoops or extra requirements that are needed for you to finance a brand new home. Okay? Oftentimes, and Sandy mentioned it and David mentioned it, oftentimes during that 4-month period of time, 5 to 6 months in certain cases, it's a great time for you to save your money, fix your issues. If you got something that you need to pay down on credit, that's a great time to be doing that. Somebody mentioned while the builder's doing their part, you need to be doing your part. And it's a great time to be doing that. So number one, that's the case. Number two, especially for you that are 62 years and older, you can use a reverse mortgage to buy or build a brand new home. So especially as I'm thinking about this home with the courtyard in the middle, this is my last hurrah, and maybe I don't want a mortgage payment, I can use a reverse mortgage.
How far do I have to go now? Because I'm on that road.
I can use reverse mortgage.
Yes.
And number three, the other thing from the lender's perspective is we give you a pre-approval letter And you may go ahead and meet with your builder and your realtor and all of that good stuff. But do contact your lender and make sure your lender knows that you are moving forward with ABC Builder, just so that we're all on the same page. Because new construction, I don't want you to have to update your documents 1,000 times in the process. We do like to have a handle on things going in and then a quick update at the very end so that we can give you those keys, okay?
Absolutely. And real quickly, so I know we're winding up.
Wind down.
Would you please give out your numbers and so on and so forth, how they can best reach you?
Sure. Yes. If you Davis Homes, you can reach us 317-979-5103.
Say it again. Slow it down.
317-979-5103.
Great.
And Sandy Rusk, and you can find me at PyattBuilders.com, and also my personal cell phone number is area code 317-523-3019.
Yeah, so be sure to go on their websites. They have the locations, they have the floor plans, they have everything that, kind of might answer your questions. And you believe me, I think they're making floor plans easier to read because, even though I've been in business all these years, I still have to say, okay, where's that hallway? I'm just kidding. Well, we certainly appreciate you joining us. Don't forget, next week is going to be all about your credit. I'm Janis Bradley with JB Real Estate Consultants. You may reach me at 317-590-7348. I can handle all of your real estate needs.
And my name is Diana Rice-Wilkerson. If you're interested in getting pre-approved for a mortgage or finding out where you stand, please go to my website, loanswithdiana.com. That's DIANA. You can call me at 317-402-5555. Have a wonderful weekend.
You've been listening to Home and Finance with your hosts, Diana Rice-Wilkerson and Janis Bradley. For more straight talk about financing a home and insider information about buying a home, listen next Saturday at 1 p.m. or call 402-5555. That's 402-5555.
The proceeding was a paid program.